You've been told inflation means prices go up. That's not what inflation is. That's just what it does to you. Here's the real story. The same $100 bill buys you less every single year. The bill doesn't change. The number printed on it doesn't change. What changes is what it's worth. In the next few minutes, you'll understand what inflation actually is, why it happens, and the quiet thing it's doing to your savings right now. Let's get into it. So what is inflation really? Most people picture prices climbing. The coffee that costs $3 now costs 4. But look at it from the other side. The coffee didn't get more valuable. Your money got less valuable. Think of money as a measuring stick for value. Inflation is that stick slowly shrinking. Prices look bigger only because the stick measuring them got smaller. And the loss is bigger than you would guess. What cost you $100 in the year 2000 costs you more than $180 today. Your money wasn't stolen. It quietly lost almost half its buying power while it just sat there. That's inflation, not prices going up, your money going down. So why does money lose value? It comes down to one idea. Too much money chasing too few goods. Let me show you with a tiny island. On this island, 10 people each have one gold coin, and there are exactly 10 apples for sale. One coin, one apple. Simple. Now imagine everyone suddenly has 2 coins instead of 1. 20 coins in total, but still only 10 apples. What happens? People bid against each other. The apple that cost 1 coin now costs 2. Nothing about the apple changed. There's just more money chasing the same stuff. That's inflation in one picture. When the amount of money grows faster than the amount of real things to buy, prices rise to fill the gap. It works the other way too. If apples suddenly get scarce, say a bad harvest, the same money chases fewer apples. Prices climb again. So 2 things drive it: more money in the system, or fewer goods to buy. Usually it's a mix of both. Keep that island in your head. Money up or goods down, and your dollar buys less. So if more money causes inflation, where does all that new money come from? This is the part most people never get told. The amount of money isn't fixed. Governments and central banks can create more of it. They do it to pay for things, to fight recessions, to keep the economy moving. For most of history, money was tied to gold. You could trade your dollars for actual gold. That put a hard limit on how much money could exist. Then in 1971, the United States ended that link. The dollar stopped being backed by gold. From that point on, money was backed by trust in the government, and there was no hard limit on how much could be made. Now jump to 2020. To keep the economy alive during the pandemic, a huge amount of new money was created in a very short time. A couple of years later, in 2021 and 2022, prices jumped at the fastest rate in decades. Supply shortages played a part too. But all that new money was a major reason your groceries suddenly cost so much more. More money flooded in. The island filled up with coins. Now here's the part that sounds backwards. A little inflation is on purpose. Many central banks around the world actually aim for about 2% inflation every year. They want your money to lose a small amount of value deliberately. Why would anyone want that? Because the opposite is worse. If money gained value just by sitting still, nobody would spend it. Everyone waits. Businesses stop selling. People lose their jobs. That downward spiral is called deflation, and it can wreck an economy. So a slow, steady 2% is the target. Enough to keep money moving. Not enough for you to notice day to day. Here's what even that gentle target does to you over time. Remember the shrinking $100 bill? Now picture $10,000 sitting in a normal bank account. To see the effect, let's use 3% a year, just a little above that 2% target. If your bank pays you almost nothing, your money loses about 3% of its buying power every year. In 10 years, that $10,000 will buy only as much as $7,000 does today. You never saw a withdrawal. Nothing left your account. It just quietly bought less and less. That's why people call inflation a hidden tax. Nobody sends you a bill. Your cash just slowly does less, and it hits your paycheck too. If prices rise 4%, but your pay rises 2%, you got a raise on paper and a pay cut in real life. This is the piece banks rarely highlight. Money sitting still in cash is not staying safe. It's slowly leaking value year after year. So what do people do about it? This is not advice, it's just the mechanism. Because cash loses value over time, people try to hold things that tend to rise at least as fast as inflation. Things like property or certain investments that don't simply sit still. The idea is simple. If your money is going to lose value sitting in cash, you want at least some of it in things that have historically kept pace with rising prices. That's why just save your cash stop being enough on its own. Saving still matters, but savings alone slowly lose ground to inflation. What's right for any one person depends on their situation, and that's a question for them, not for a video. The point here is just to see clearly what inflation is doing, so you can make your own call with your eyes open. So let's bring it home. 3 things to remember. 1. Inflation isn't prices going up. It's your money losing value. 2. It happens when money grows faster than the goods to buy, usually because new money gets created. 3. It works like a hidden tax on cash. Money sitting still slowly buys less. Once you see it this way, the headlines about inflation finally start to make sense. If this made inflation click for you, subscribe. The next video breaks down how central banks really work and why they have so much control over your money.